City News on TV Rotorua is proudly brought to you by Rotorua Central.
Kia ora Rotorua, head in tonight's bulletin. Community engagement is the focus for Rotorua Lakes Council Youth Coordinator Reid Nakora. Plans for this year's Rotorua Hospitality Awards are underway and the T10 Secondary Schools Shootout is coming to Bay Oval. A focus on youth and the issues affecting them will be a major part of the Council's community development in 2015. Reid Nakora is the newly appointed Youth Coordinator and says there are new initiatives being implemented by the Youth Council, including the 2015 Youth Voice Initiative. He says it's part of the focus on community engagement adopted by Council.
I've always believed that youth representation needs to be strong. You need to have a youth voice for initiatives and projects and events to actually have meaning with youth. So I've always felt strong about that, so that's why I saw the Youth Council as one way of being able to voice that opinion, or a collective almost, around what youth should or would like, rather. Yeah.
So what's coming up for the youth in 2015?
At the moment, there are a few things that are still just in discussion, which I won't get too much about, talk too much about. But in 2015, it's just a whole lot of youth engagement activities, hopefully. Fingers crossed, around getting youth involved through projects or events, rather. So getting them involved through events to find out what they might want, or does this work and would you like to see it again? That kind of consultation or engagement.
A new revamped curriculum and course opportunities are opening up on the Waiariki Hospitality course. Head Sharon Wallace says the Raising the Bar campaign has been influential in helping course designers come up with new ideas, and with growth in the sector, graduates are guaranteed future employment.
The course itself gives a complete overview of what it is like to work out there in the industry. The students, when they've finished this program, they go out and they're equipped to work within the industry and learn new skills as well, and adapt to industry's ways should they need to do that.
And Sharon Wallace told our reporter that plans for this year's Rotorua Hospitality Awards are well underway, with details out shortly.
It is going to be held on the 21st of June at the Distinction Hotel, and we're excited about it. The sponsors are coming on board really well, which is always a blessing, and it's great because community involvement has been perfect. We've been lucky.
Rotorua Car Club is celebrating another successful vintage and veterans car show at the Village Green. Club President Andy Watson says the show was again well supported, raising over $1,000 for Rotorua St John.
Now, is this an annual event? Is this an annual fundraiser?
It has been for the last 3 or 4 years. Before that it was about every 2 years, but it looks like it may become an annual event, because some clubs look forward to coming down to Rotorua, because it is a nice spot, obviously, down on the Village Green, which is a credit to the council. So. And
is St John's always the receiver for the funds raised?
So far, we've not felt we need to change. We're a motoring organisation, so we can always come across an accident, or we may have one ourselves, of course. And a lot of our members are getting quite elderly and they've had to call on the services, so we feel that we should put something back into the community, so this is a medium that suits most of us.
In sport tonight, Bay of Plenty Cricket is launching a new concept to local cricket, the T10 Secondary School Shootout. Open to all secondary schools in the Bay, the 2015 competition will see school teams play non-stop cricket throughout the day until the 2015 shootout winner is found. Each team is guaranteed 4 rounds of T10 action, with little sitting about during the day. The competition is on at Bay Oval in March, and Year 9 to 13 boys boys and girls teams are invited to register. For more information, email info@bopcricket.co.nz. To your weather update now. Tonight, a few showers with light winds and an overnight low of 15. Tomorrow, Thursday, cloudy periods, drizzle patches later, light winds, a high of 26 and a low of 15. And the outlook for Friday, long fine spells, evening drizzle, light winds, a high of 26 and a low of 17. And the marine forecast for Lake Rotorua, southeast rising to 15 knots early in the morning, turning northeast to 15 knots around midday, and then easing to 10 knots in the evening, with waves less than half a metre, afternoon showers with poor visibility. Still to come in tonight's show, we talk with Deputy Principal Rural Fire Officer Richard Horn about the current fire risks, and we're with Crankworks organiser Tuck Mutu to preview the upcoming event.
Rotorua, if you've read in the paper or if you've been up with social media, you'll know that there are fire warnings out at the moment. We're going to have a quick chat with Richard Horn, Deputy Principal Rural Fire Safety Officer from the Rotorua District Council. So Richard, let's talk about what's happening this summer. What are the variables that are contributing to the extreme fire danger at the moment?
So at the moment we've obviously got nice weather patterns, bringing plenty of sun and not a whole lot of rain, which is good for our holiday makers and people enjoying the summer weather. But in regards to rural fire, things are obviously drying out at the moment and have been for the last good month or so, which then means that the ability for fire to start is a lot easier and also spread rapidly. So locally we're getting right up there in regards to fire danger or potential for fire to start and spread at the moment.
And so what's the main contributing factor to this?
Just the lack of rain and the fact that things are just drying out daily, and with the the heat of the sun is drying things out, and the wind is definitely a factor as well. In fact, the wind for rural fire is probably our main enemy for spread of fire.
Okay. Why is that?
Just the rate in which a fire can spread rapidly with wind. So the potential for a fire to spread over a large area in a matter of minutes is that much more advanced with these sorts of conditions.
Is that because the wind helps to fuel the flames but also to push it further than it would possibly go?
In these conditions, especially with these sorts of areas with grass like this, the fire can spread rapidly with wind. So you're talking about potentially a whole lot more resources to get a fire under control in these sorts of conditions.
I see. Now, with the weather warnings that we have, we've got the half grapefruit signs that you kindly put out on the side of the roads to indicate where we are. What level are we at the moment?
So as of the weekend just gone, we are now in extreme. So that's at the very far end of the grapefruit sign. So for us, that tells us if a fire starts, there is potential for it to spread rapidly, and there are lots of fuels available for burning as well. So it's not just grasses, trees and other vegetation is starting to dry out as well. So.
And is this quite normal for this time of year?
Yeah, our current conditions are pretty much predicted for these times of the year. It's just a matter of how long that period extends for now until we get a good dose of rain.
Okay. Does global warming have anything to do with this?
I'm not too sure myself personally. I've been doing rural fire for about 18 to 20 years, and what we're getting now is consistent with what we've had in the past.
Yeah. All right. Around Rotorua, has there been any particular areas of concern?
We've had just lately a few people that have been burning rubbish without fire permits in the rural, that's a little bit of a concern, and we've had the odd fire that started along the side of the road in parts of Rotorua as well. I'm not too sure the exact reasons for those.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we know what the contributing factors are for fire to spread, but what's the cause of it? What actually causes fire?
There is potential at the moment for fire to start via cigarettes being thrown out windows of vehicles on the sides of some of our rural roads in particular. Contractors need to be wary of some of their operations, so mowers on the sides of roads, there's potential for fire to start like that. And also be aware that hot exhausts from vehicles in long dry grass can also start a fire.
Okay.
And then we've got people that are burning rubbish as well, so those are probably the main types.
Any safety messages for anyone in particular? What message are you pushing?
Well, at the moment, so for the Rotorua area, the Rotorua district, we've actually put a hold on all current fire permits.
Okay.
So we're actually not issuing any fire permits at the moment because of the level that we're at. So apart from cultural reasons for tangi or disposal of stock, we can do a special permit on a case-by-case basis for that. But we're also putting out there to the urban residents also that if they don't need to burn, we'd prefer that they didn't burn at all, or feel free to phone in through to the council for advice on what to do and how to do it safely.
Should we try put the fire out before you get here?
It's not the best thing to do. You need to be obviously trained to be able to do that sort of thing, so we would prefer that the best course of action is 111 and your personal safety and the safety of your family and others comes first, and unless you're a trained firefighter or have all the appropriate gear to do that, we'd rather that you left it to the ones that are trained to do it.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Richard, and thank you for the wise words of warning. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
No worries. Kia ora Rotorua. Crankworks 2015 is just around the corner and the sport is about to be amazing. Rotorua is already probably biking capital of New Zealand, but it's going to become probably biking capital of the world very shortly. What would you say about that, Tuck?
Oh, it's a pretty big statement, eh? It's definitely the biking capital of Australasia.
Australasia?
I mean, there's no one with the facilities like us, with the trail systems like us. It's a big playground. You know, we've got some big competitors out there. I mean, Whistler, it's the home of mountain biking at the moment, isn't it? It's the home of Crankworks, and we've been lucky enough to work in with them to bring part of Whistler down here with Crankworks Rotorua. So yeah.
All right. Well, fingers crossed, Australasia we're fine with, but if it becomes the word potentially, then we're absolutely going to be amazed by that. So how busy have you been?
Oh, it's been manic. I mean, between doing normal work, obviously running our tour company with Multi-Date Ventures and Mountain Bike Rotor at the Forest, it's been insane. I mean, we've seen huge numbers come through this year, and I think a lot of Rotorua is actually feeling that, which is nice. Good positivity around town between Eat Street and all the tourism operators. It's great.
Absolutely. There's some mammoth construction, there's growth, you can feel it, you can see it, and obviously the positive vibe comes right through on that. So what has it been like for you and the team?
Huge. I mean, Crankworks Rotorua takes up most of our time. You know, it's just a massive, massive event, and I think most people understand the scale of it, but there are still some people out there who just don't quite get how big this is really going to be. But I can tell you now, it's going to be huge. I've been lucky enough to see the confidential list of pro riders who are coming through, and I'd be confident to say this will be one of the, if not the biggest grouping of pro riders in the world for 2015.
Brilliant. And who have you got backing this event?
I mean, let's start off with who helped initiate this. I mean, the council through events and venues initially, and then the rest of council activating have been massive. You know, not only have they given us funding, but full support. I mean, Destination Rotorua marketing have been huge. Even right down to things like Parks and Recreation, the building consents team, and everyone like that. I've been working on council contracts for a few years, and the way they've really gone in behind this has been just massive. I mean, been, I know that Dave Donaldson, as part of the Crankworks team, and also as Deputy Mayor, along with Steve Chadwick, the Mayor, have been riding behind us and giving us their full support. So Council have been huge. Rotorua Energy Charitable Trust came to the game really early, and gave us a huge block of funding, which helped us get over the line with a lot of things, because this is a full live production TV, event. We have 5 days of live TV going out there, so that's a massive cost in itself, and also the community stuff that's going on. We're putting on free music for everyone. You don't have to pay to get into that part. So, the Energy Charitable Trust coming into the game has been massive, and then our sponsors. Our sponsors are awesome, man. SRAM. Ever since they heard that we might be doing this, the bike parts company, and they actually own a bunch of different things, but SRAM have just been hugely behind us, not just financially, with their marketing side, and also everything else that comes around that as well. The dressing of places, providing prizes and just stuff to give away. They've just been huge. Giant bicycles from day one have always said they're going to be involved somehow. Specialised bikes, they're involved in Whistler, and they're involved here as well. IXS, who most Kiwis won't know yet, but they will know soon enough. Okay. They're a massive sports brand internationally, and the IXS sports division have gone behind it. Spank. Yep, Spank. Okay. And their picture's right behind us here. They sponsor the whip-off competition. They're doing the same in Rotorua as they do for the French round in Ladies Up and in the Whistler round as well. So they've gotten involved with it. Who else have we got? Air New Zealand have come to the party as well, so it's great to have locals who are absolutely committed to being a part of this. Air New Zealand have actually come to the game in a big way now, which is awesome. We love having their support. Just like I say,
lots of them. I heard that you've got Volcanic Air, Te Puia, Rotorua Rafting.
Yeah, so we those sort of guys are not necessarily sponsors of the event, but they're big supporters of us. Nice. Actually, Te Puia and Skyline Rotorua have come on in a massive way. Te Puia are going to help us absolutely theme the place, because one of the things that we run into is that this is Crankworks. We don't want it to look like Whistler. We want it to look like Rotorua. We want it to look like New Zealand. So Te Puia are going to help with that, and they're going to absolutely dress the place up and do a whole bunch of other stuff in and around the event. Of course, Skyline.
Yes.
Skyline are committing quite a bit of money to make this work, and people always think, this is a massive international company, and they are a big company, but this is a big deal what they're doing. We're not talking about them putting a few $1,000s in. They're putting a lot of money in towards this to make this happen for Rotorua. And I tell you what, it'll absolutely pay off. I have no doubt in my mind that what those guys are all committing to this are going to be massive. And then there's other guys, they're coming onto the party to help us out, because we want to create VIP packages. We want people to have a full experience here. It's not just about the event. It's about this whole town.
It's about Rotorua, right? At the end of the day, nice.
Yeah.
Right, stick with us. We'll be back after the break to hear more about registration and a whole lot that goes into Crankworks 2015. Welcome back. Tuck, let's talk registration. Registration's now open, but I'm pretty sure that there's already a list of pro athletes that have come through. Give us the rundown.
Yeah, so the pro athlete information is still confidential, but I can tell you it's massive. At the moment, for the Enduro World Series race, which is a big event in itself, we have around about 150 pro riders registered for that. So that's just massive. But it looks like we're going to have around about 120 pro downhillers over here.
Wow.
20 pro slopestylers or freeride mountain bikers competing as well. And that's just the pro division. We haven't even talked about the amateurs yet. So amateur numbers are looking like it's going to be massive. I think we're looking at somewhere between 500 and 800 riders who are going to be here for the Crankworks week.
Nice.
Yeah.
So for the amateur division, applications are now open.
Yes.
You can go online.
Yep.
How does that work?
So registration for downhill is on on the crankworks.com website, and it pops you through to our Rego site. But all the information you ever need, it's all on the Crankworks website. So it's crankworks.com, crankworks.com.
Now, do you then have to have different tracks for different styles but different divisions?
Yep. Absolutely. We are doing something that we don't often see here in New Zealand. In fact, Queenstown's done it a few times, called slopestyle, and it's a style of riding that we call freeride mountain biking. So freeride mountain biking is all those big crazy jumps that you see, all those things that happen that you just can't believe that you can physically do. That's freeride mountain biking. And for that, we need a specialised course. We need specialised trail builders. We've got Tommy Hay from Extra Mile Trail Building, who's based down in Queenstown, but is originally from, I believe, the UK. And Kelly McGarry, who's one of the top 20 freeride mountain bikers in the world. He's a Kiwi guy, which is even better.
Nice.
Love having the Kiwis represent. So those two are actually building right now our slopestyle course. And like I say, it's a specialised course. I mean, you're talking about jumps that are, the top of the jump sits at around about 14, 15 feet high. So you're talking about guys being thrown 30, 40 feet into the air. It's just, massive.
A mountain biker on the trail, and when you hit the air, you're a pilot, and the mountain biker again, that sort of thing gets some pretty big air.
More like a fighter jet pilot, if that's what you're going to compare it to. Yeah,
absolutely. So I hear there's a 20 metre jump in there. Yeah, is that normal?
That's not even the slopestyle course. That's just a downhill track.
Really?
Is that normal? No, but this isn't a normal event either. This is the world's best riders coming down to Rotorua to race. So we don't want to have a normal track. We've got to have the big stuff. And this is all up to that World Cup level. This our prize money alone is more than what you'd normally get at a World Cup. So this is all done to that next level.
Absolutely.
Including the trails.
So you've got 2 months left and it's coming down to the wire. Are there any worries? Do you have anything that, to share with us? Something, give us something. Was it been running smoothly?
I'm surprised with how smoothly it's been running. Do I have worries? Of course I do. I would be incredibly either ignorant or arrogant if I were to pretend that weren't any worries. But we can only do what we can do. We've got a really great team, with the full support of council and our own management team and multi-day adventures. And then, of course, we work hand in hand with the Canadian team as well. We've been doing this for 11 years.
Nice.
So they come over and help us run this event, and it's not like we have to go at this solo. But like I say, we can only prep as much as we can, and we'll see what happens on the day.
Very good.
But I'm confident.
Good. Now, for our locals, just remind us out there what day it is and what should they do? Should they come down? Should they enjoy all the festivities that you've put on? Of course they should. Oh,
absolutely. I mean, it's a 5-day festival. It's where we've timed the major events to be outside of school hours as well, because it's the 25th to the 29th of March. But we want to make sure that school kids can get there as well. So things like the whip-off, the downhill, the enduro racing, the slope style, the pump track racing, they can all get there. There are tickets. You do need to buy tickets, but the tickets open up heaps. I mean, it opens up entry to the main arena where all the tracks converge to. In fact, you can't see the slope style track, the dual speed and style track, pump track, and the end of the downhill and enduro tracks without having an event ticket. But it also gives you 5 days of gondola access, unlimited gondola access. It gives you access to the Skyline Gravity Park as well on demo bikes. So demo bikes, we've got a bunch of different companies who are coming over to let you try out their bikes, their mountain bikes, and that's free. That's all part of it, and you can use the trails. You don't have to pay for that. So there are a huge amount of wins for that, and $69 for a 5-day festival pass and all that stuff. I'll tell you what, it's a bit of a no-brainer, isn't it?
Absolutely, no-brainer.
Some exciting mountain biking ahead over the coming months. That was Tuck Mutu speaking with Melanie Groves. If you'd like to contact the show, email news@tvrotorua.co.nz or you can phone 07 3488 984. Thanks for watching tonight. From all the team here at City News, ko Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News on TV Rotorua was proudly brought to you by Rotorua Central.